I have to open this video with a correction. We have not passed a bill to stop Operation Choke Point. We've proposed this bill numerous times and it is back in the House as I write this script. As with the last 3 proposals of this bill, it is getting no attention and likely will not pass because of that. This likely explains some recent deplatformings. I originally said this would be a video about the players of Operation Choke Point, but as I've reread all of my notes and sources, I think it really comes down to one person, Mark Pearce. While there were numerous people involved in Operation Choke Point in the 2014 era, nearly all of them have retired with the exception of Mr. Pearce. As I write this, Mark Pearce remains the Director of Depositor and Consumer Protection Division of the FDIC. The position itself was seemingly created to enforce the ideas of Operation Choke Point, as mere months after its creation, the operation began, and subsequently, it has not done very much of note outside of the operation. With that in mind, let's go back in time a bit in Mr. Pearce's life. Mark Pearce graduated from Harvard Law School in 1996 and became involved with self-help seemingly immediately. You've probably never heard of self-help. I hadn't. By their own description, they started out in North Carolina in 1980, helping farm worker-owned cooperatives gain ownership of local mills that were going out of business. In 1985, they began making home loans in North Carolina to, quote, families who were unable to get conventional mortgages, end quote. By 1990, they were partnering with other North Carolina banks to offer these unconventional mortgages, and by 1998, when Mr. Pearce was working there, they had moved the program national. Mr. Pearce then became the first president of the Center for Responsible Lending, which is effectively the lobbying arm of self-help. I can't find specific dates, but it appears the Center for Responsible Lending was formed in 2002 and began lobbying in 2003. The sins of the Center for Responsible Lending are too numerous to be included in full in this video, but they include lobbying to make legal and proliferate adjustable-rate mortgages that created the 2008 crash, lobbying to make payday lending illegal, lobbying for the Podesta Group, and lobbying to create the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau with the assistance of Elizabeth Warren. Somewhere between moving to the FDIC and his time at the Center for Responsible Lending, Mr. Pearce became the Chief Deputy Commissioner of Banks for the state of North Carolina. His time in this position seems entirely undocumented. The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau was officially signed into law and created in July 2010 as part of the Dodd-Frank Wall Street Reform and Consumer Protection Act. Mr. Pearce was conveniently hired on by the FDIC on October 12, 2010 as director of the newly established Division of Depositor and Consumer Protection. What's the Division of Depositor and Consumer Protection? The enforcement arm of the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, the police force to the CFPB's rule-writing arm, if you will. This is the division that Mark Pearce actually heads to this very day and has since October 12, 2010. This is why all earlier discussion of enforcement was run through Mr. Pearce, why every high-level email has his name CC'd, why he continually pops up in the numerous investigations into Operation Choke Point. I have no idea how to end this video. It seems like there should be some conclusion here, maybe a silver lining. There isn't one. Mark Pearce remains in his position, and while there is a new director of the CFPB due to the aforementioned retirements, business continues as usual. The laws that have been proposed to stop this have failed to pass, and up next we'll talk about court challenges to this bureau and some recent news stories about it. Thank you for watching.